as usual, we are going to give it a minute or two to send notifications out to everybody, especially during today's live stream. So please bear with me. I mean, this is the kickoff to season 6 of the YouTube channel. So I haven't been doing much videos, much live streams outside of the membership exclusives. So we're just going to give it a minute, send notifications out, and we'll see if we can get some people in the house here this morning on this beautiful Saturday. And I do want to just double check too when somebody gets in here that the audio is working correctly. And I don't know if the window is a problem. I don't think I could adjust brightness. No, I cannot. Lighting. Yeah, I don't think I could adjust the lightness, but I thought maybe I could make it darker in the back, but that doesn't seem to help. So, yeah, we're just going to give it one more minute. Guys, let those notifications be sent out. I did just have a video premiere, and I saw Nancy was in the tail end of it. Sorry, I had to cut you off, Nancy, and jump over to this live stream. The video today, the season 6 premiere, was just a very, very short 2-3 minute video, kind of promoting my new book, The Journey. Okay. With that being said, we will jump in here now. I see somebody gave a thumbs up to the video, so thank you. I appreciate that. And wow, I mean, season 6, 906 day today. We'll be making a video actually this afternoon for that. It's not going to be anything fancy, but one of my shorts from 3 years ago is really taking off, and it was about the Yooper language. That's what it was called, the Yooper language. Well, that short's really taken off, and in it I shared one word that us Yoopers use, the word masturbator. And in the Yooper language, a masturbator is actually someone who works on a professional fishing boat in Lake Superior, baiting the hooks and all of that. And lots of people thought it was a joke, but it's true. That, in the Yooper language, is what we call a masturbator, a professional fisherman on the lake of Lake Superior. So later this afternoon, I'll be dropping a new video in honor of 906 Day, which is September 6th. 906 Day is known, basically, or celebrated here in the UP, as basically our area code. The first 3 digits of our phone numbers here in the Upper Peninsula is 906. All of the numbers are 906. So that is where 906 Day originates from. I see Jay coming in saying hi. Welcome in, Jay. And then Mega Merch is asking what bait is used for catching bass. Personally, not professionally, I am actually not much of a fisherman myself, so I can't answer what the best bait would be for that. But speaking of a new season of the YouTube channel, season 6 is what we're kicking off today. I talked to my uncle who's been doing a lot of fishing, and we've been discussing some options of having him do some fishing videos for the channel. So I will actually pass that over to my uncle, and we can see what he feels is the best bait for catching bass. Personally, I will give him shit all the time though, because he's my uncle, and I love to give him a little bit of shit about his fishing. So, season 6, we're kicking it off. I just had a video. Some of you might not have had the chance to see it, but it was talking about my new book, a new memoir called The Journey. And over the last 3 years, I had to press pause on my nomadic dream to live on the road because I got a life-changing job opportunity to work for Go Give It Community College. During those 3 years, I traveled to 10 different countries: Italy, Switzerland, Germany, Austria, Kenya, Peru, just to name a couple. And I've had a couple people asking me. Yes, those journeys, those trips are in the book. Each international trip I took, whether it was Europe, Africa, or South America, each of them have their own section in the book, and I break it down day by day. And a lot of it, so with Kenya, you have a lot of it being the wildlife, going out on safari, or meeting the Maasai culture. And out of the group of 30 of us that were on that tour, I was the one person that got to become an honorary member of the Maasai tribe for the day. So the book talks about that, and it also talks about like Machu Picchu. That is a huge location in Peru. So Machu Picchu, I did a lot of research looking back on my videos, looking back on videos that friends captured while also on that trip, looking at plaques that we came across during our tours, and I used all of that information to share historical stuff with you guys. For example, did you know it's not pronounced Machu Picchu? That actually means something quite inappropriate, actually. So I'm gonna leave that little sneak peek in there for you because I don't want to spoil it. But yes, Europe, Kenya, Peru, all of those international trips are in my book, as well as many different photos throughout the trip. Some great overview points, but also some things just like the wildlife in Kenya. Some of the food that I got to taste, like the tiramisu in Italy, was absolutely phenomenal. It's something I still crave to this day. So a lot of that stuff is also in the book. If you give me a second here, I actually have the book right here with me. So for those who may not have seen it yet, this is the new book, The Journey, and it is a pretty thick book here. It is double what my first book was, and that is available on my website, bit.ly/Kobe's Dream. Hey, I see Chroma coming in and William coming in. Good morning and welcome in, you guys. I see Chroma asking, can you read your favorite passage from the book? I've been trying to pick out a couple favorite ones, but there is one in particular that I really do love, just because I think it captures the understanding of what I was going through here. Let's see. Give me a second while I find it. While I'm trying to find my favorite passage for you, one thing I do talk about here too is building this YouTube channel, building my own business. Um, Thank you, Jesse. Welcome in, and I appreciate that. Um, I talk about the YouTube channel and how I grew it and different mindset stuff, day to day, as well as stuff working at the college. I was the manager of the college dormitory. So life lessons that I kind of share with the residents over the last 3 years. So there is spots in the book where you have to write things down. For example, one of my greatest examples here is 4 lines. And these 4 lines, I'll actually read this to you guys. It's not my favorite passage in the book, Chroma, but it's definitely, I really like it. It's meaningful, and I think it could be really beneficial to some people, and it just really goes along with this. So, these 4 lines here, I'm talking about the YouTube channel, and I'm talking about how, let's see. Let's see, where am I here? I'm talking about basically how people have different priorities in life, right? So some people see my travels and they go, well, that's easy because you don't have kids, or well, it's easy because you have this, well, it's easy. I like to think that each of us have our own different priorities in life. And that is completely okay. For me, traveling is one of my major priorities. And for others, I get it. Making sure that your kids are taken care of and stuff like that, that is a number one priority. And there is nothing wrong one way or the other or anything in between. But it's also acknowledging that we have our different priorities. So, I talk about how step one should be to follow your inner compass, not your inner map. While I know that sounds weird at first, a map can only help and get you so far. For example, a map of Chicago would do absolutely nothing for you if you were lost in Miami. Now, a compass, however, that will always point you in the right direction no matter where you are in life and what it throws at you. So, what are the biggest four values that define your compass? I like to call these ones priorities in life. Everyone has different ones. You need to realize, though, that outside of these, there's only excuses. Well, it's easy because you don't have kids is a phrase I hear a lot. It absolutely is true, 100%, don't get me wrong, but there are people out there that do the traveling I do, or more even, and they have kids. Pet owners would also use the same phrase as an excuse if I didn't have Rocky, my German Shepherd. And you'll come to find you'll always have an excuse not to try something or not to go, reasonable or not. So, with that stuff in mind, my four priorities in life, in no particular order, because remember, this is a compass, is adventure, kindness, family, and YOLO. You only live once. I want to make the most of every single day. So go ahead and jot yours down on the next page, and that's where the four things come in handy. There's no specific order, but it's just a big part of my life and the YouTube channel and what I do. I see Zip coming in. Welcome in, Zip. I see Nancy also coming in. Welcome in, Nancy. Thank you for reminding people like and subscribe, and that memberships are also now available. So while we're talking about kind of improvement and stuff like that, Lopez, thank you for stopping in. Welcome. While we're talking about that, Nancy, could you please drop the link to my book in the comments, please? I see Chroma asking, how do you think about priorities versus values or morals? How do you think about priorities versus values or morals? Well, I think in that section that I just read to you, I talk about how we each have our own different priorities, and one of those priorities in my life is kindness. Now, you could also say that's a value or a moral, but it's one of those things that it's very tricky. Like, a lot of bigger YouTubers, I don't know how many of you really know this type of stuff, but bigger YouTubers, they often promote BetterHelp. And BetterHelp is like a therapy, an online therapy organization, basically is the gist of it. And there's a lot of controversy around that. And lots of these big name YouTubers that are promoting the organization, they get a lot of comments talking about how they should not be promoting that organization. So I think that's a good example here of priorities, values, morals. Now, organization, personally having tried the organization at one point, it isn't a good organization. I'm not for it. It's not to say I'm not for therapy. It's just I'm not for that organization and the way they go about doing things, how they handle things. So it's also understanding from a business perspective, though, that these YouTubers, just like me now, I quit my job 2 months ago, and this is what I'm doing full time. We got to make money somehow. So I think in the case of bigger YouTubers promoting BetterHelp, for example, their heart is in the right area. They're trying to promote um, therapy and mental health and inspire people to look into options. And they're making a little bit of money for that. So, it's you got to sacrifice, but you also have to draw a line at one point and figure out where the line is for you. Like, personally, I will never promote BetterHelp. Um, I've tried it. Like I said, it does not work for me personally, but that doesn't mean it's not going to work for somebody else either. I just, I don't, it didn't work for me the way they do things, and I'm not going to promote that. Somebody else can. Somebody else can talk about it a little better than I can. I'm going to find the stuff that works for me and pass that knowledge on. I see Lopez saying facts, true, absolutely. And Nancy, I can't do links on my phone. I don't know why. Okay, not a problem. So I'll just, again, anyone that is interested in the book, The Journey, this is my first book, or this my second memoir. You can read it as a standalone book, but it also makes a perfect sequel to my first book, and you could find these on bit.ly/Kobe's, Kobes, dream. So bit.ly/Kobe's dream. And I have this book available for $30, and the other book is $20. But if you're interested in both of them, I do have a bundle where you get it at a discounted price for $45. And these are available only in the United States. Unfortunately, shipping internationally is way, way more expensive than I'm willing to charge people. So that's unfortunately why we can't do that. I see Lopez saying, I'm going to leave now. Good luck. Keep it going. Well, you take care, Lopez. I hope you are feeling better soon. And thank you for the kind words and for tuning into the live stream today. If you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe before you leave so you know when my next uploads are. So that's where we're at with the book, guys. Season 6 kicking off a new season of the live streams, a new season of the channel. This is going to be huge. We have treasure hunting. This summer, I went out looking for $1 million treasure. Thank you, Lopez. I appreciate the sub and the like. I will see you on the next adventure. That is my new motto here. So, yeah, next adventures, we have the 906 day coming up this afternoon, where I'm going to share a little bit more behind the day and a little bit more from the Youper glossary, because I know a lot of people like learning about the Youpers. So we're going to talk about that. We searched for $1 million treasure this summer, the lion's share. There's a book that came out called There's Treasure Inside, and basically I think the $1 million treasure is hidden up here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So I'm not going to go into that any further. We'll just leave it at that little teaser. But we're going to have some videos for me hunting some real life treasure. Of course, wearing the pirate's hat from Captain Jack. Which, speaking of, I did try to order some copies of my book to Captain Jack's house. He was helping me out with that. Since I'm full nomad now and I'm moving, because Wednesday I leave here to officially start my journey to Arizona. So I'm hoping the books were supposed to come and arrive at Captain Jack's Monday or Tuesday. They have not yet shipped, so I don't know if that's going to be the case. but we're trying to get those books to his house so then we can get them to M25 middle of September. For those who don't know, M25 is in the middle of Lower Michigan. It's Lake of the Dreams campground, and I'll be there for the entire event, 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, middle of September. And it's for nomads and other YouTubers or people that just want to meet people. So if you've been watching this channel for a long time and you want to meet me, you don't necessarily have to come out camping. There is a day pass. But we will be there at M25, middle of the month, and we'll be having content on that coming out as well. We are going to try to do a live stream there. I believe in the past, people were saying that there's not service there. I do have Starlink, but I've had a lot of issues with Starlink, so we'll see if I can do a live stream, but I'm going to try. Speaking of the Starlink, we'll have another video coming up on that. I've tried it twice now, and it's just not very good. You made my day. Thank you. Thank you, Lopez. That means a lot. I'm happy to hear that. So yeah, we're gonna do a review on Starlink. I mean, I've been living as a full-time nomad in this camper for 2 months now. So I'm gonna do a video kind of talking about that. What was the last 2 months like? What is it like that, you know, after 3 years of giving up my dream of, or pausing my dream to be a nomad, what's it like to finally live on the road again? I mean, I've had stuff breaking, I've had a hell of a time fixing my solar panel setup, for example, and you guys are gonna laugh when you hear the solution, but it's been an adventure already. We'll talk about that. We will talk about behind the scenes of writing my book. I'm going to show you guys behind the scenes, because so many people keep asking, how do I write a book? Or how do you start? Or how do you go about it? And I've always wanted to do a little bit of coaching. If anyone ever wants to do that from a business standpoint, I'll just put it on there. One-on-one coaching. I'm coaching someone right now on a workout routine and exercising and being more healthy and more fit, both physically and mentally. So if you're ever looking to get a little bit of coaching, reach out and we'll make some kind of deal. And, you know, business is business, but we're going to do some YouTube videos on how to publish a book, how to write a book. I always go through Amazon, which is self-publishing. And the thing with Amazon, I think it's the best for self-publishing. But when you publish with them, you also got to understand in a sense that you're making a deal with the devil. Because there's going to be some stuff that just sucks. And we'll discuss that more on those videos as well. I see Fungi coming in. Welcome in. Thank you for stopping. So lots of good videos coming up. As a reminder, as Nancy mentioned earlier, we do have memberships available for the channel now. And all members, regardless of the donation price per month, they do get exclusive content. So over the last 2 months while I was living on the road, I've made a couple videos about the treasure hunting, about living in the camper, adjusting to the nomad life, discussing behind the scenes of the book a little bit. So if you're really eager and you just can't wait and you want to see what my last 2 months was really like and you want to really just dive right in, those memberships are available and they do help me support this channel and live this lifestyle as well. That is kind of what we're looking at here. This is what I'm doing full time for a living now. I am making content on here that will hopefully be knowledgeable and entertaining for you guys, but I'm also going to be, I mean, we got my second book here. There's already 2 or 3 other books in my head that I know I could write. There's so much stuff. That's what I'm doing for a living. I'm doing some photography now. I did go my first official photography job. I went to someone's wedding and we did a wedding, and most of it on my end, I did the videography, and I'm waiting on the highlights from that right now. I was told that once everything's done, I can actually share some of the stuff on the YouTube channel with you guys. So you'll be able to see what I did for my photography gig at a wedding. I mean, go big or go home, right? My first photography job, and I was lucky enough to know someone and get that opportunity, so I'm very thankful for that. Um, but that is what we're looking at, guys, for season 6 of Living the Dream. The last 3 years, if you've been watching me work hard. You've been watching me sacrifice, building my business, all while traveling not the country, while traveling the world. Um, and that's what the book is about. And now it's time. I am living my dream, full nomad. Like, this is it. So I think this might be the very best season yet. Um, with that, I think I am going to wrap up this live stream. Unless you guys have any questions for me, I'll give you a minute or two. If you want to send me any questions, Q&A about the book, about life as a nomad again, what my summer was like, go ahead, drop that stuff down in the comments. Otherwise, yeah, I'm not going to go for a full hour today. I just want to stop in, do a live stream, kick off season 6, let you guys kind of know where we were at, what's coming up, and simply say hi and see you guys again, because I've missed you guys over the last 2 months, and I'm really, really excited to get back into it. So I see a comment coming in. I have been with you from the start. Shout out to me. Yes, Pig Vomit. Pig Vomit. Uh, Thank you for watching from the very beginning. Um, and just, I mean, you've seen what it's been like then. The channel, like I said, this is season 6. So the last 3 years was me working at the college and pressing pause on my nomadic dream. But prior to that, I was living in a school bus. I was living in a van. So I already was doing that nomadic lifestyle and van life. The last 3 years, I just had to press pause on that, and now we're getting back into it just with a camper now. So I think it's even more exciting when you have been here a little bit and you've got to see thick and thin, the lowest of lows and the highest of highs, and now here we are. Um, it's definitely something. When I first got my book, I got emotional listening to some songs while I'm driving down the highway on a nice sunny day like today. I've gotten emotional. I've definitely never been happier. So I see Kenzie asking, what's your favorite gas station? That is a great question. Um, my favorite gas station so far, I've been to 27 states. For those who don't know, I am 26 years old. I I don't think about that often. I'm old. I feel it some days. But 26 years old. I've been to 27 states, so we're gonna start having to up the states here. 26 years old, 27 states. The average American only visits 8 in their lifetime. And throughout my journeys, most of them being road trips, the two uh basically gas stations that I'd say are my favorite are Love's. That's always a great one. They have food, they have like showers. It's a huge gas station. And then you have Casey's. Casey's is another one. Really great food. Just absolutely phenomenal. I do want to point out the comment. Some of you probably just saw it. When we're on these vertical live streams, it does promote the live stream a little bit better, so you get the spammers and stuff that come in here. I don't know what that's all about. There's nothing like that. If you guys are new to this channel, that shit's just nonsense. The haters are gonna hate. It's part of what I write about in this book too. So I apologize for any spam that we get in the comments here. As we go forward into the season, we'll have a little bit better moderation throughout the channels, but it's the beginning of a new season, so there's not as many people present in today's live stream, so I apologize, excuse me, for that. But yeah, Loves and Casey's gotta be my two favorite live streams. I don't know if I'd put one over the other, but they're always a safe spot to spend the night. I've spent the night there in both my school bus and my van. They always have some great food for some great prices, having some great clean bathrooms, some great showers. The showers are always a little bit more expensive. Personally, I have heard, though, that truck drivers sometimes will give away their showers. I guess they get free ones. They'll give away their showers if you ask them. I've never done that. I always pay, or I know where to get free showers. I mean, being in a camper now, I have my own. But those two, for those reasons, probably are my favorite gas stations. So thank you, Kenzie, for asking that question. Anybody else have any questions here before we wrap up the live stream? Otherwise, we are going to call it a day. I will start working on my Yooper glossary. Well, you know what? Why don't we do it here? We have half an hour still. Why don't we do a little bit of 906 Day? I got the Yooper glossary. So, the Yooper glossary is a glossary filled with words that us Yoopers use. And a Yooper, for those who don't know, a Yooper is someone who, well, this is controversial. We'll see if there's actually a definition in here. The Yooper Glossary. A tourist guide to the better understanding of the Yupanese language. So, they don't have an actual Yooper definition in here. So, some people argue a Yooper is someone who is born and raised in the Upper Peninsula, like me. Others say that a Yooper is someone who moves and simply lives in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So there's two different definitions. It's kind of a big controversy around here. What is the true definition of a Yooper? But 906 Day, as I mentioned earlier, is basically like the area code. The entire area code for the Upper Peninsula is 906. So we celebrate today the Yoopers. I see some others stopping in. Welcome in here. Thank you guys for stopping in. I'm just trying to find a good word for you guys to share. I was going through these and there was some really fun ones. Okay, so here we go. In the Upper Peninsula, us Yoopers will say sit-faced. What is sit-faced? That means you're too drunk to drive the main roads. Or sit paper. Sit paper is toilet paper. Another one that I was laughing at earlier that us Yoopers use is snowbank bustin'. During a snowstorm, Yoopers will go cruising in their beaters, four-wheelers, or snowboats and attack snowdrifts, trying to blow through them and get to the other side. Warning: you must bring enough friends to push you out when you don't make it, which is most of the time. So that was another one of my favorites in here. The no trespassing sign. In the Yooper language, the no trespassing sign means that fishing and hunting are great in this area. Of course, you guys, if you've been watching me for a while, you may have heard a pasty. Not pasty, a pasty. That is basically a Yooper's soul food. And what it is, it's almost like a calzone, but instead of pepperoni and cheese and like pizza sauce in the middle, you have your hamburger, your potatoes, your onions. Some people put rutabagas in there. Pasties become this huge thing that a lot of people basically argue about. Some people argue, do you slice your vegetables or do you dice them? Everyone's got an opinion on what to use. Another phrase that you'll hear me use a lot as a Yooper is, you know. You know is a Yooper phrase meaning, don't you agree? So, those are a couple Yooper words for you guys. Trying to find another good one for you. We will still probably do another little video talking about my favorite later today, but oh, I have to add this word in there. A-E-H. In the Yooper language, A is a word that ends practically every sentence in the UP. Say yeah to the UP, eh? Hey, how's it going? Thank you for stopping in. We are just going through here. I was giving people some time to ask some questions about my traveling or nomad life. So in the meantime, I was reading some words out of the Yooper glossary in honor of 906 Day. I think that is kind of what I'm going to leave it with for now. And we will do a little video later talking more about some of my favorite Yooper words, but I wanted to read a couple words while I gave you guys some time to ask questions. How are you doing? I am doing great. I am living the dream. Literally. So, the book, what is this? It's a glossary, the Yooper glossary. It's basically all the words that us Yoopers here in the Upper Peninsula talk about. And everyone loved my short where I was talking about a masturbator being a professional hook baiter on a Lake Superior fishing boat. So, wanted to read a couple words out of that, but we will wrap it up here since I see there's not a lot of questions coming in and I don't want to drag out the live stream too long. But thank you guys for stopping in today. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe, turn that notification on as we kick off Season 6. And a reminder, my new book, The Journey, is now available. I just posted a video on it, so if you didn't get a chance to watch it prior to this live stream, go check out my newest video. It's 2 or 3 minutes talking about the book. And I also have a very special announcement at the end of that video. So go ahead and go check out my video on this, and I will see you all on the next adventure. Thanks for stopping in, everybody.